Hi, everybody. Tom Ball from Sun Racing here, back with our latest preview ahead of Newmarket on Saturday, which of course is sponsored by Betway, and I'm delighted to be joined by Betway's spokesman, Chad Yeomans, to discuss in intricate detail, as it always is by the great man himself. So, without further ado, Chad, let's start off with the opening race, the 1 o'clock, the Betway British Stallion Studs EBF Novice Stakes. Bazari for Joe Fanning and Mark Johnson, second last time out on his debut. A pretty good debut that, but he's up against some interesting newcomers this time, including Local Law, Magallan, Bodroy, and that's it. But Impulsive One and Top Brass both have run before as well. What do you make of this race?
It's a really interesting little heat, actually. I think I'm going to cut straight to it. I think one of the winners is going to come from either Local Law or Magallan. We've seen Babajan, we've seen Bazari, we've seen Impulsive One, we've seen Top Brass, and actually none of them have really majorly impressed. Impulsive One was a bit unlucky, and is kind of, you can go skint backing horses who you think were unlucky in running and I've stayed on at the end, and with travel and didn't get the best of luck. He went past beaten horses, and I just don't think it was over. And I think if you're looking at the top speed rating on that race, it's not fantastic. It's got a top speed figure of 36. You want to almost draw a line as anything under 55-ish, you'd say was a way below par. And Top Brass was 56. Babajan's recorded a 69. That was on quick ground. I'd suggest that none of the horses we've seen so far would set their world alight. They'll have to improve massively. It's not to say it can't be done. Which is why I'll go with Magallan, who was about to run at Ascot last week in the Newcomers Maiden at Ascot for John Gosden. John Gosden's won this race twice, in 2017 with Roaring Lion, 2018 with Woldstern. He's coming back for more. And money will speak volumes, but we'll go with Magallan or Local Law, one of the newcomers.
Lovely stuff. Magallan to kick things off for Anthony Oppenheimer in the 1 o'clock. A very interesting race, as you say. Some big owners represented there. Be interesting to see how Local Law gets on for Godolphin as well. Up to the 1:30, the Betway Novice Auction Stakes over 7 furlongs. Another interesting little race here with plenty of newcomers, but the one to beat possibly is Olympic Theatre for Michael Bell and Callum Shepherd. Rated 72 already, a third and a second on both that one starts so far. Chad, what did you make of this one?
Yeah, again, half of them, I don't think will be smart enough to win a maiden. I think they'll be, more for handicaps, which I think is fair. It's a kind of right race to start a horse's career off if you think they're going to be handicappers a bit later down the line at a novice auction stakes. Olympic Theatre sets the standard, no doubt about that. Third on debut, then second at Windsor, third behind Jadwell, who didn't frank the form as such at Ascot last week, sadly. And then second behind Atlas Bay at Windsor. On all known form, he's the one to beat without shadow of a doubt. Michael Bell and Callum Shepherd in the saddle. Just a couple of newcomers to note. One for Birmingham City fans, Keep Right On, trained by Richard Hannon and ridden by Sean Levy. That horse wouldn't surprise me if that was bred to win first time out. That's not far off being the kind of horse you'd want first time out. And USS Nimitz for Mark Johnson and Joe Fanning, a half-brother to a horse called Astonished, who managed to win first time up. So there's certainly a line in the breeding which would suggest he could be forward enough to win first time up. But either of them, they'll have to beat Olympic Theatre, fair and square.
Indeed, I would agree with that. Olympic Theatre very much looks the one to beat in that race. On now to the 2:05, the first race on ITV on Saturday at Newmarket is the Heed Your Hunch at Betway Handicap over 1.5 miles. Like to get a bit of rain this weekend, but it looks like being pretty firm ground. And we've got Night Bear, Boss Power heading the market. Indigo Lake is first blinkers for Khalid Abdullah. 2 Nathaniel for John Gosden. Allegiant Knowing, Midnight Skift and Zuba complete the field. I'm going to start quickly, Chad. I think Boss Power is the one to beat here. I was really impressed with his win at Yarmouth last time. That was a maiden handicap, but he really blew them away that day. And I think off a £7 higher mark, he shouldn't prove too tough to catch this time. So Michael Stout is so good at improving this kind of horse. He's only had 4 starts, so I expect much better to come. And I'd be surprised he wasn't banged out at the finish. Would you agree or disagree?
No, 100% agree with that. Finished 4th over 7 furlongs on his debut, and you kind of thought that day he's going to need double this. Finished 8th first time up the season behind Sunray Major. Didn't really show much. Next time out was 6th behind, I think it was called Al Zarayan. Actually showed a little bit of improvement that day, and actually things started to click. He certainly wouldn't have been wound up home. He certainly wouldn't be given, proper work. And he's improved with each run. And then he went to 1 mile and 3.5 furlongs last time out of Yarmouth. As you said, was really, really impressive. Didn't get the best of runs. Kicked clear when he did. He won it comfortably. Up another half furlong here. I don't think that'll be of inconvenience. Opening 70 at marker 78 doesn't look that bad for an open handicap as such. Michael Stout's horse seem in good form. Richard Kingscote, really good judge of pace. All the winners, or majority winners from last week at Newmarket, because the ground was so quick, you know, it was a bit of a front runner's course. So I do expect him to be ridden handily, and then, you know, take it up with a couple of furlongs to go and play, you'll give me loads of weight, let's see if you can catch me if you can. And I think that's probably the tactics that will get to win the race. Night Bear will be popular. I think he'd probably want further, but again, he'd probably be ridden prominently because he will stay. Indigo Lake could be overbet because of the connections, as could To Nathaniel, who seems to be a much better horse on the all-weather. The other horse of interest is Allegiant, probably be the outsider of the field for Stuart Williams. One off a mark of, let me get my notes, 76, now down to 77, so this is not too far away from his latest winning mark. This is the kind of race he'd pop in. He's a winner over at the same course last July, over slightly less over 1 mile 2, but certainly seems to be that 1 mile 4 is within his range. I think he's run over 1 mile 4 on the all-weather before, so certainly not going to inconvenience him. One other to mention, not a tip, but one other to mention is Midnight's Gift. Last time we saw Midnight's Gift was in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle at Cheltenham. And there won't be many horses ran at Cheltenham running on this card, for sure.
No, that is definitely for sure. Lovely stuff, Chad. Thanks for that. On the 240 now, the Betway Handicap over 7 furlongs. Interesting little race, this one, with Caravana and Broughton's Gold looking to be the most progressive horses in this race. But there are interesting ones in opposition as well, including the Recaller Show and Black Caspian. Where's your finger pointing in this race?
I liked Broughton's Gold. I like the way Broughton's Gold did it last time at Windsor. It was only been put up £4 for that, which is not the biggest of punishments. Taking his career tally now to 3 from 5, which is impressive for any horse to get to that. Tom Clover's horses have been banging form almost since the resumption. Sean Levy takes a ride again. He's been riding winners left, right and centre. I don't think a mark of 84 is too, will hold it back. So certainly we'd rather be on the horse who's improving and keeps finding a way to win. I think Caravana was really good last time out, but does have to give £5 away. And the race he won last time out was relatively weak. Certainly fell apart. There's only a few runners in it. A bigger price, Dancing in the Woods for Dean Ivory and Joey Haynes. This horse won at 50 to 1 on debut at Newmarket, the Rolling Mile course last year, and has shown some form in and out. Was second and third start. Showed some really nice form. Was second behind Thunderous, who went on to win the Dante this year. So I'm not saying he's a Dante horse, far from it, but he's definitely got a nice line of form. Was consistent his first season. Clearly had a couple of issues. On his seasonal reappearance this year, he was 4th in a really competitive race at Haydock. And if he reproduces that, he'll certainly outrun his price, and he's going to be around, I guess, double figures at the time.
Lovely stuff. I'm with Broughton's Gold as well. I think Tom Clover has been such brilliant form this season so far. 24% strike rate this season. And his horse won nicely at Windsor last time, and I think a step up to 7 is going to be absolutely fine. He's won over it before. So he'd be my pick in the 240. On now at 3:15, the Galloping Grey, Betway Grey Horse Handicap, always a cracking sight. This one over 6 furlongs. Every horse in the race, a grey horse. The market looks pretty hard to predict. Case Key, Clary Blue, Buccaneers Vault, and My Style are all heading towards the top of that market. Chad, what's your opinion on this race? It's pretty competitive, isn't it?
Oh, it's really competitive. As it often is. Some horses are targeted for this race specifically. Some find themselves handicapped off recent runs and well handicapped off recent runs and have run in it. And I think sometimes, like looking at Case Key, who's won it in 2017 and 2019, is a case of let's try and get it again. I do think Case Key's coming in great form, was a winner 2 starts ago, and then was second at Leicester, I believe it was last time out. And you certainly want a horse who's coming here in good form. However, this is a bit more competitive than recent renewals. Clary Blue for Martin Mead seems to always be really, really well backed, and I expect that to happen again. But to me, 82 is probably the ceiling of his abilities. There's 2 I like. Glen Coco will probably be, near a 25 to 1. Runs in some really nice handicaps and runs consistently well. And I certainly think now he's dropped to a mark of 79. Bearing in mind he's won off 85, it could suggest he's getting slightly well handicapped. For trainer Stuart Williams. Callum Shepherd takes the ride. And another horse who has actually improved this season is Rock My Boy, trained by Mark Locknane. Just improved this season. It's been an eye-catcher in 2 starts. Was a good second 2 start to go, and was the 6th at Ascot behind River Nymph who was a runaway winner recently. And actually, he was a bit of an eye catcher, stayed on that day. And I thought, he is of interest next time. And he's landed in the Betway Grey Horse Handicap. So he'll certainly be on the radar. So it'll be Glen Coco and Rock Boy Grey, both each way bets for me, Bully.
Lovely, some nice prices there, actually, Chad. I'm going to go with My Style, who finished second over 5.5 furlongs last time out. She'll really be suited by the step up to 6. Georgia Derby takes off £5. Can see that one going very well for the Eve Johnson-Horton team. On now to the 350, the Betway Fillies Nursery Handicap Class 2 race, 7 furlongs to distance again. Ventura Diamond, likely to be a short price for this. Galar is up there as well. Also, Tia Delina has got a chance at the top. Where's your opinion going in this, Chad? There's quite a few here who are unexposed, potential to improve, aren't there?
Absolutely. It's a really, really tricky race. Ventura Diamond, the only winner in the field, a winner at Goodwood recently. If Ventura Diamond won, you could go, she was clear, she's a winner, she's come out, been out and done it. I certainly think she'll be ridden prominently. I think she'll be ridden from the front and she'll play, I've got experience of winning a race and, let's see what you've got. I just have to question that form slightly. Do have to question that form. And the maiden at Goodwood's going to be a hell of a lot different to this small field fillies handicap at the July course on rattling quick ground. There's another Tia Delina and Great Vibes, both ran in the same 2 races. Great Vibes was 5th when Tia Delina was 3rd, and then Great Vibes was 3rd when Tia Delina was 4th. There's literally nothing in them. Apart from now, Tia Delina is giving her £2. So you'd have to think Great Vibes, if she was any sort of price bigger than Tia Delina, would be a value bet. Which would certainly take my fancy as an each-way bet. Sky Angel for Charlie Appleby would also be of interest if there's any significant money for this horse. She ran at the opening Newmarket race card at the first week of resumption, and Charlie Appleby, the word was, he'd said quite openly, my colts are a bit more forward than my fillies. My fillies are way behind, but we're running them. And the fact that out of all the 2-year-old fillies Charlie Appleby had, he thought this one was more forward to run in those early races. Hasn't been seen for 56 days. But she could have a little bit of ability, this Sky Angel. And if there's money for her, I don't think that I'd put anyone off backing her. But we'll go with Great Vibes each way, and then Sky Angel if there's money. Great Vibes each way there for George Scott. Sky Angel, of course, with Kevin Stott on board, the very informed Kevin Stott, who's really impressed me recently, actually, I have to say. On now to the 425, the Betway Fillies Handicap over 1 mile. We've got a few in this who are definitely of interest, including Clinician, Wolflet and Folk Dance, all of whom hold claims. What do you think about this one, Chad? Again, another really open contest. I mean, most of the races on the card are open. There's no penalty kicks for any of them on Saturday afternoon. Folk Dance has been in the tracker since her first start when she was 6th. She finished 3rd the next time out, and I thought, right, she'll definitely win a race next time. She finished 7th on her seasonal reappearance this year. I thought she'll definitely win next time. And then she got collared by a horse called Dashing Roger, who runs earlier on the card. And I thought, maybe she might not win again. Maybe she might not find the race, and I've got to drop her out. But maybe this is what she wants. Maybe she wants this kind of test. They'll go hell for leather. They'll go quick, and she'll be ridden for luck. I know she'll have to come off the pace. And I think this is like the 3rd or 4th Callum Shepherd horse that I've picked this weekend. And so I'm hoping he has a rattling good day. But there is something in the way I like of what I've seen of Folk Dance to suggest that she could win a race. So just on that, I'll have to stick with her. Alabama Whitman, the 3-year-old, has got weight, giving weight away to some of the older horses. But there's a nice little bit of form from last season, which would put her in with a great shout. But no, we'll stick with Folk Dance as an each-way bet, Bully. Great stuff. I'm going to go with Grand Rumour, who won well at Windsor last time out, and is looks like she could be off a nice mark on 82. So she'd be my pick in that one. And I should probably say Leicester, not Windsor, because she was runner-up at Windsor on a previous start. But Leicester in a handicap company last time, she got off the mark in good style. And I'm hoping she can improve again. 5 o'clock, read Andrew Balding on Betway inside the Fillies Handicap. We are looking at Expressionism, Squelch, Chartered, Alemania, Table Mountain, Point in Time, Believe in Love, and Jane Marple, who won her 2nd start last time out. Table Mountain coming in here off the back of a victory as well. Who do you think is going to win this one? This is a really, really competitive race. And actually, if you go back through the form, you'll find Chartered went off 2-1 favourite for a race where Point in Time ended up winning. And Point in Time was 33-1. Alamanga's running the same race as Believe in Love. Believe in Love beat someone else recently someone else was fifth in the race. It's nuts. It's one of those. I actually can't get a good line of form. I do want to be against Jane Marple, who is the Gosden horse at the bottom, likely to be very prominent in the betting. I don't suggest that she needs this trip just yet. She won over 1 mile and 4 last time out, and she was outpaced. But I don't think she was outpaced because she needs a step-in trip. She was outpaced because she was green and she was learning still. It was only a second career start. So I don't think she needs this trip just yet, from what my eyes can see. It's a Believe in Love improved last time for the step-in trip and was really good winner at Goodwood. Point in time, Marcus has got his horses in flying form. And she was really, really smart when she won 4 starts ago. She's been bang there in her races this season. I can't pick. If I had to go for something, Bully, I think Chartered put in a bit of a stinker last time out. But on the best of her early form, she will be right there. And she could be a bit of a price because of that last run, which I'm inclined to put a line through. And she's got cheap pieces on for the first time for Ralph Beckett with Rossa Ryan in the saddle.
Funny enough, that'd be my pick in the race as well. Those first-time cheap pieces, I'm hoping going to eke out some improvement. And like you say, on her earlier form, she'd have a big chance in this. So hopefully Ralph Beckett, who's so good with his fillies, can get another win into Chartered. Chad, thank you so much. What a lovely run through the card that is. It really is a very competitive meeting, isn't it? All through the card, with some very exciting horses on the show and some good handicaps as well. So hopefully we've given you some winners there, or at least Chad has, to you guys at home. And yeah, best of luck to all your bets, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much to Chad.
Love it.